This is the Music Scene Podcast. I am your host, Dave Cudrak. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing great, enjoying your week. If you've made New Year's resolutions, hopefully you're still keeping to them. If you've made it past Quitters Friday, congratulations. Yeah, this past weekend here in New Jersey, we got a little bit of snow, so that was exciting. Only about 2 inches or so, but, it's always fun driving in that stuff, no matter how deep it is. Had a couple of good shows this past weekend. I played a show in Pennsylvania, played a show in Maryland. Some really good football games happened this weekend as well. Go Birds. Friendly reminder, I will be at Brewery 33 in Riverton on Saturday, February 1st. Then on Sunday, February 2nd, which is Groundhog's Day, I will be hosting open mic at Little E's Tavern. And then Monday, February 3rd, I will be a guest speaker at the Music is Our Hero musician networking event and open mic. That's over at The Fire in Philadelphia on Girard Avenue. So very much looking forward to that. And I'll keep you posted with those details. Today on the show, we've got Stephen Henry. I've known Stephen just a short while. He showed up to one of my open mics at Little E's Tavern maybe about 2 months ago. I think I saw him for the first time, and then he's been back once or twice since then. He is a singer-songwriter here in South Jersey. He's probably the first one, I think, that I've interviewed who is more interested in being a songwriter than like your actual, performing songwriter, right? Singer-songwriter. He will, of course, perform these songs in an effort to get them promoted, but his heart and soul really lies in the songwriting process. So yeah, I had a great talk with Stephen. I had fun learning a little bit more about him and his background. He is on a mission to release some new songs in 2025. He has 52 songs recorded and ready for release, and he plans on releasing a new song every week in the year 2025. So that's pretty exciting. Be on the lookout for that. If you hear noise in the background, that's my dog deciding to interrupt my podcast recording. So thank you very much for that, Ernie. I've started and stopped this recording too many times, so I'm just going to roll with it. And here's my conversation with Stephen Henry. I hope you enjoy it. All right, we are here with Stephen Henry. Stephen, welcome to the show. Thanks very much for doing it.
Thank you, Dave. It's
yeah,
a
man.
pleasure.
Good. I'm glad. So I met you first. First time I ever met you was at the Little E's open mic that I host every other Sunday. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you are a singer-songwriter in the South Jersey area. You're writing your own original music. And I think you did do some covers in the past, I think. So how did your music journey start? Like, when did it all first start for you?
Very young age. I always liked to sing, and I always liked to try to write. I mean, it was some really stupid stuff in the beginning, but I'm talking like, 7, 8 years old, I got started with it.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sneak off in the backyard, find a place to hide and try to sing some stuff,
Yep.
where nobody could hear me. And, well, there was always somewhere that would have an instrument, like
Mm-hmm.
my best friend, his parents had acquired this stand-up piano that they got from buying a shore house that they were going to fix up, and they moved it to Milne. And here they started teaching the one son and the sister piano lessons, and I would sit there and listen, but I would always get up there and just try to do my own thing, and I would come up with some stuff, and it used to piss the mother off. She's like, I'm paying for these kids to get lessons, and you just go up there and just start doing stuff, Now, I'm not a real good piano player or anything, but my cousin had an organ.
Okay.
And her sister, my cousin, we would have like competition on, how to play this organ or whatever.
Okay.
And again, it was like color by number or whatever, put your fingers wherever and learn these songs. And the one cousin was very inspirational to me. And she had a full guitar, a brand new, something that she had acquired. And that turned out, she started showing me some of her poetry and trying to put it to music or whatever. It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And it inspired me a little bit. Well, wasn't long after that, she had moved out of a place and she threw some stuff up in a hayloft, which used to be owned by my grandfather. And there was nothing up there but stuff. Turned it into a party shack, but now it was, I don't know, like for storage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was this old guitar up there. It was all beat up. It had 3 strings on. I pulled it down and I started playing it. And I took it home with me. She never said a word about it. So I think I wrote like 30 songs in that studio. I just tuned the strings till it sounded good to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through that whole learning curve of playing and singing at the same time.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
That was like, I didn't think I was ever going to get it. I was like, this is impossible.
Right.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I did, and I got over it,
Nice.
And I just started finding things that sounded good and put them together. And basically, that's what I still do to this day. I find things that sound good with a nice, smooth change as much as I possibly can and put it together. And the lyrics just come. Sometimes the lyrics come first and the music comes later, which is a lot of what has been happening to me lately.
Okay.
But
So how old were you when you first started kind of playing that guitar that you took from the hayloft? How old were you about?
that was probably around 13.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yep. Yep. And where did it go from there? Was it all just kind of singing and playing by yourself, or?
Well, I used to sneak down to an old gunny club of mine, and it had good acoustics down there. I learned how to smooth out my voice to match the guitar in there with the echo in effect, to try to let it ride, and it was pretty neat, And then it hit me when I was about 17. I said, if I ever want to play a song for anybody, I got to get a guitar that has 6 strings on it. I said, this is just foolish for me to write all these songs. I'll never be able to play them on a real guitar. I have to learn how to tune it. I have to learn how to maintain the tuning,
Right.
And
So
probably learn how to change the strings.
For all that time, for what's that, 4 years-ish, you were playing a guitar with 3 strings on it?
Yeah. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Even the voice was pretty bad. But, I call that whole time the learning curve.
Sure.
How to train the voice and play at the same time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was doing. I never took a lesson, even when I did go out and buy a real guitar.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so about 17-ish, you went and got a real guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of guitar was that?
It was an old Applause guitar. They called it the Glenn Campbell guitar, full body synthetic back. I think it was the beginning of the Ovation.
Okay. Yep.
Before they came out with all these slim bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
I still have it. It's hanging on my wall. It's pretty beat up. It's all cracked up and everything. Right. I don't ever really play it anymore. I just got better things now,
There you go. Nice. And with that Applause guitar, where did it kind of go from there?
Oh, it got a little more interesting. I had 3 more strings to work with. So there was all kind of things happening, and it got better, and it really started getting good, and to my ears. And then I caught wind of a friend who lived in the same town that he played a little bit of keyboard. So as soon as I found out, I threw the guitar in the back of my car in the back seat, and I headed out to go see him. And I called him riding a 10-speed bike, turned down the road, and I kind of like turned down the road at the same time. I had the windows down. I said, "Hey," I said, "I heard you play a little bit of keyboard." He said, "Yeah, I dabble a little bit." I said, "I got my guitar. You want to play?" And that's how we formed our first band.
Nice.
We had an old chicken coop and had all kind of crap in it. We cleared out a spot and we made it work with one little gorilla amplifier.
Oh, I had a Gorilla way back in the day.
We wired everything into the 2 little outputs that were there, or inputs that were there. And it was overwhelming for, it was just, it couldn't handle it.
Right.
So then I said, okay, we got to get some equipment. And I was working at the time. So I saved my money. We cleared out a whole corner of that chicken coop. And I was working construction at the now. I'm like 18 years old, and I'm working construction on a job. Getting like some of this wood that came off the job, and we made a band room.
Oh, nice.
Lifted it up 2x10s, a whole carpet, and paneling, and ceiling fan. I mean, we were living. I paid some money to do the electric for us.
Nice.
And now we had a band room.
That's awesome.
So then I started buying nice equipment.
Okay.
And
cool.
we found a drummer. He was awesome. He idolized Neil Peart, so it was like really hard to keep up to that guy. We had to up our game a little bit and put together an entourage of songs, and we played out a little bit, for a little bit.
Okay.
And then,
like what kind of places did you play?
Nah, just like Sweet 16s, shit like that.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Just,
yep.
It was nothing. They were younger than me, by the way. They were like 3 or 4 years younger than me.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they're like 15, 16.
Yeah. They were getting dropped off on the bus, to go to the chicken coop, and I'd be there waiting for them on the days I didn't have to work. And a rainy day, I didn't have to go, I'd be waiting for them,
Sure.
And then we just spend the weekends. We would spend, oh my God, we'd be out there playing, terrorizing the neighborhood till like 1, 2 in the morning. And his parents didn't care because they knew where we were.
Right. Yep.
And you know what? None of the neighbors ever complained. And it was a good time of my life. We did that for a couple years, had a lot of fun. And then it kind of went to a hiatus. And then later on, we put the band back together again. And that lasted for maybe another 5 years. And that was it. I had a tragedy. I lost my nephew to a Tropicana parking garage.
I remember when that happened. He was working there?
He was the 21-year-old that lost his life.
Oh, man, that's
And
awful.
I loved that kid. He worked for me for a while, when he passed away, I just lost it. I didn't even have anything to sing about.
Right, sure.
And it really took a toll on me. I tried. It was just sour and angry, and I just couldn't get it. So I just walked away.
Right.
And then it wasn't until my mother lost her eyesight that I started playing her stuff, like songs that she knew from her childhood or whatever. And then eventually I started sneaking my own stuff, just like verbally singing to her,
Yeah.
And she asked me one day, she said, well, that's really good, but, what you going to do with it? I said, I'd like to establish myself as a singer-songwriter, and maybe somebody would want me to write songs for them someday.
Sure.
You know? So I set out on my journey.
Nice. So how long of a hiatus do you think you were on?
Probably 10 years.
Okay.
Easy,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It happens, man. Just about everybody I've talked to has some kind of long stretch where they just put the guitar down.
I was listening to your Whiskey Jim today, and you guys were talking about the same thing. And I was like, deja vu, man. Like, that happened to me. It's amazing how it happens.
It's crazy.
What is more amazing is how it comes back.
Yeah.
Even better than what it was.
It does. Yep.
It's really something. Yeah.
That's cool. So you're playing for your mom, right? And then where did it kind of go from there?
Well, I never played. I just sang to her.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I would stop by every morning and make sure she was okay, and then I'd give her a little something, whether it be playing from the phone or verbally, just vocally singing to her,
Gotcha.
Live. And, words started coming, and I started carrying around a tablet, and next thing I know, I'm writing again, and,
nice.
Here we go.
Nice.
So, then the intention came, like, brush the dust off the guitar, take the strings off, clean it up.
Yeah.
You know, I actually posted on Facebook. You know, so it's about to happen. You know.
Okay, nice. And about how long ago was that?
It was about like a year and a half ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
Maybe, I have to check
right.
Facebook to see
Yep.
when I made that post. It's pretty close to 2 years.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Very cool. Yeah, I think we're probably around the same timeline. I think I picked things up again probably about 3 years ago, but after a long hiatus. It was like 20 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, that's super cool. So then you start, you know, you pick up the guitar again. Are you posting stuff on Facebook or Instagram, or kind of what are you up to 2 years ago?
No, I kept it quiet the whole time. Nobody knew what I was up to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just people that were close to me. You
Right.
know. But no, I didn't antagonize anybody with something I wasn't ready to do.
Sure.
And my journey got larger without me even knowing it was going to get larger. Instead of just, you know, I wanted to get down some of my old songs, you know, things that I love. And I figured I'll go to the studio and I'll get these songs down,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have something to listen to.
Okay.
And then it turned out to be, you know, I wrote this song for my niece. She's a high school rodeo queen of 2024. And I said, well, I want to give this to her for Christmas. And before I could do that, it was just this idea of, you know, I got all this new music. I should, you know, record this stuff too.
Sure.
And I said, you know, I wonder if I can get like maybe 52 songs and release a song once a week for like a whole year. I mean, that might get me noticed as being a songwriter for sure, right?
That's a lot. That's a lot of songs for sure.
It is.
I know a lot of people strive for maybe a song a month, but if you could do a song a week, that's a lot of songs.
That's what I was doing. Sometimes it was 2 a week. You know, some songs took a little longer. Some songs were real quick. You know, it depended on how we felt about it.
Yeah.
So me and my producer, we set out on this mission, and we accomplished it.
Mm-hmm. They're not released yet, but they are recorded and ready, right?
I released 2 last night.
Yep. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
So it has begun.
It started. And the response from all my friends and family have been really good.
That's awesome.
And
What's the name of the guy you're working with?
Chris Arazi from CAS Music Productions.
Okay.
The thing is, just before I finished this project, he moved to North Carolina. And, you know, he says, oh, you come see me, this, that, and the other. But you know what? I've never worked with anybody like him. I mean, I really feel as though we have a special connection, and we definitely had a formula to bang these songs out the way that we did.
Yep.
You know, and he'd like to continue, and I'd like to continue. The thing is, I'm running out of money. I can't be just like, you know, spending all this money all the time. I spent quite a bit, and hopefully, you know, through the generosity of the listeners, maybe they'll give some back to me. So,
Right.
And if they give me enough, I'll keep going.
There you go.
You know, so that's the whole thing.
Well, that's good. That's good. So the songs that are recorded, I know when I've seen you at the open mic at Little E's, it's just you and your guitar, you and your acoustic guitar. The songs that are recorded, do they have like full instrumentation?
Absolutely.
Yep. So it's
some
like
of
full
these
band.
some of these songs have as many as 6 guitars that I'm playing on.
Wow.
You know, there's all different kind of things going
Mm-hmm.
on. There's, you know, the whole doubling thing, maybe
Mm-hmm.
playing a little different, some accent things. The one thing that I'm not really good at is lead guitar. Now, I came up with some pretty good stuff
Mm-hmm.
in some songs, but for the most part, I always see what other kind of instrument could take its place.
Okay.
And we did that.
Nice.
Chris was very good with all that kind of stuff. And if I asked him for, you know, a certain sound, he could find it. He had all kind of, you know.
Plugins
Oh,
and
my
stuff.
God.
Yeah.
You know, he's got stuff he forgot he has, you know. And he was like, oh, yeah, I got, and then he's still buying stuff, too. He's like, I got this the other day. You want to try it? So that was fun, just trying to see where it goes. But like I had a keyboard at home and I could do things and bring it with me in my head. And then when I get there, just show them like, this is what I want to do. But I don't want to do it because you're so much better than me. I don't think you should do it. You know what I mean? But this is it.
That's cool. So you'd give him like a demo and then he would.
No.
Well, I mean, just like a rough, or would you record it all, or you would do it? You would come up with it at home and then you'd play it at his studio.
Well, we would start on the opposite side of the glass, so to speak. I'd be right with him. We'd figure out the drums.
Okay.
Figure out the beat. Now I can do a guide track. Okay. We'd go do a guide track, singing and playing at the same time, according to the drum beat. So now we got time.
Right.
Then I might double it, or whatever other guitar parts I want to do, kind of get that kind of out of the way. Then I go on the other side of the glass, and he'd figure out more intricate drums.
Okay.
Bass line. And where do we want to go from here?
Sure.
Is it big enough? Is it large enough? Do you want to sing it now? Sometimes I go in there and I just sing it, to what we already have. Mm-hmm. Or we'd make it bigger, like putting some piano or organ or whatever.
Okay.
And then I'd go and I'd sing. And then it was backup vocals, Mm-hmm. And I kind of learned early it's easier for me to do it myself because I just didn't have the time or the money. I'm so glad that I did everything myself.
Yeah, it's definitely cheaper.
Because I didn't know and he didn't know that he was moving. I mean, I'm telling you, I got the 52 just by the skin of my teeth. Just by the skin of my teeth.
Right.
It's amazing. It's like there's some kind of guidance, what I mean?
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It really was. It's been the time of my life, I'd have to say. It's most enjoyable, to make your music come alive.
Sure. So you've been recording these 52 songs. I assume it's been over a year.
Yeah.
Over this last year, you've been just nonstop at it.
Close to 2 years.
Wow. Yeah, that's great.
Busy.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then the plan is to release those once a week or somewhere around there. Yep.
And
Very
see what happens.
Yep.
Maybe somebody will be listening that likes my style.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you said you'd be open to like being a songwriter for someone and stuff like that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool.
I could live a lifestyle like that.
Yeah, why not, right?
There's lots of them down in Nashville. I mean, they're all just sitting around in their pajamas, I don't know if I want to do all that, but it's strange when it comes.
Yeah.
It comes early in the morning.
Is that your process?
You're just half asleep.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
Until it antagonizes you so much, you got to get the hell up and take care of it, Yeah. I'm like, man, oh man, what is this? And That's then funny. Once you get started, I told myself, you always need to finish it.
Yeah.
Don't leave it halfway.
Yep.
Figure it out. And then it was like, figure out the music too. And it's just kind of like, I figured the whole thing out and I have a song. And if I have a song and I know how it basically goes, then I go back to bed.
Right.
And when I wake up in the morning, like, ooh, that song. I got to get on that song.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just bang it and sound pretty bad. Don't sound too good. But you know what? Tomorrow sounds a little bit better and your mind fixes things and you figure things out and the layout is getting more exact. By the third day of beating this thing, I'm talking like you play this thing 10 times in the morning, you play it 10 times when you get home, and you start the process all over again.
Yeah.
For 3 days in a row, and it's kind of like, this is ready.
Yeah, you'll have it down by then, for sure.
I got to say, hey, you got time on Monday? And he'd be like, yeah. I said, okay. Pencil me in because I'm coming, awesome. And that's how we did it.
Rick Rubin, the famous producer says the same thing. He's got a book called The Creative Act, and he said that whenever you're hit with inspiration, no matter when it is, the key, based on kind of what you said, you have to keep going. You have to ride that wave as long as it's there. Right now. Yeah. That doesn't mean you're going to, the song is going to be ready for recording after that first time you're putting it down, but you gotta try to get as close to finished as possible.
Right.
So you don't lose that moment of inspiration. You know what I mean?
That's the whole thing. You kind of got it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it go.
Right.
Right.
I can see why you wouldn't mind being a songwriter then. It sounds like something that you really, really enjoy doing.
I do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a fix, man.
Yeah. That's I mean, a lot of people, myself included, I think I thoroughly enjoy like the performing part of it, right? Like I love, even if I'm on stage or standing in the corner of a room or whatever, I love like playing for people. I like songwriting too, but I haven't worked that muscle very often. I've just got a handful of my own songs. But yeah, it seems like you're very much more into kind of the writing and the creative process.
Yeah, the performance thing is always giving me a little bit of nerves, and you never want to make a mistake, and the pressure that you put on yourself about it all, and it's like, the other rule of thumb is don't stop.
Right.
Just keep right on going. Mm-hmm. Even if you make a mistake, you have to keep rolling.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll perform.
Yeah,
if I have to,
sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd like to pick somebody up, somebody that really likes what I'm doing,
That's cool.
I'd like to write for somebody.
That's very cool. So what made you decide to come to that open mic at Little E's then a couple months back?
Well, I was attending the one at Casey Ray's in Vineland, which isn't too far from my work.
Yeah.
So I could be there in like 2 minutes. And when I got off work, I was there a little early. And through one of the friends that I had made there had told me about
Was
you.
it Ken?
Yeah,
Ken,
harmonica.
Harmonica
guy.
Ken.
Yeah, he's got a lot of them, doesn't he?
He sure does.
Man, he could really play.
He can. Yep.
Yeah, he told me about it, and I said, all right, I'll see you out there Sunday, and that's how it started. Now,
Nice.
I haven't been religious on you.
Don't worry about it. I know everybody's busy.
I come when I can, and I enjoy it. You're
Good.
one of the most laid back guys to come to an open mic for. I mean, it's very friendly, very, very friendly, and it's nice.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad that's the environment we try to, everybody's welcome, even if you've either, never performed in front of people or if you're a seasoned veteran, everybody's welcome, and we're going to do our best to make sure everybody's comfortable. So that's cool.
You got to give it a whirl sooner or
That's
later.
Right. That's exactly right. Yep.
And you're a good guy to do it with. So
thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay. So I know you said like the lyrics and stuff kind of just come to you. So, but what does that writing process kind of look like? Do you ever sit down and say, all right, now I'm going to sit down and write a song, or is it always just kind of whenever the inspiration hits, like you said, in the morning?
It's pretty much inspiration.
Mm-hmm. And is it usually is it a phrase or like a melody that's stuck in your head?
I should carry around a little tablet with me just for little phrases or things that people say or whatever, man.
Yep.
I'm like, man, I could do something with that one, I'm probably going to forget it by the time I get home.
Well, I mean, so on I think everybody's phone has it, but there's like a voice memo app on your phone.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many voice memos I have of just me like in my car, singing some kind of phrase that came to mind, and then I might revisit it like a few days later. I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? I don't know. But I've got hundreds of them in my phone.
I've done that, and it's another learning curve. I was always pencil and paper, and when I didn't have a pen or paper, I was beside myself. Like, I don't know what to do. One time I was on vacation in Florida, and 5 o'clock in the morning, all these words are coming to me because of all the things I had seen.
Oh, okay.
Key West, Party Town.
Yeah, man.
So all these things are rolling around in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know where I might have a pen, but I don't have no paper or this, that, and it hit me. Like, use your phone, you dummy. You know what I mean? And email yourself. So here I am. I'm like typing it all in like a jackass. And I did it like that for a couple months
Sending
before
yourself
I
emails?
realized I could use the little microphone thing and just say it. I mean, I wouldn't have said it that morning because my girl was,
Sure.
in bed next to me. But like, I couldn't believe I kept forgetting about the little microphone thing.
Right.
But anyway, it really streamlined the whole process, of being able to edit,
Yep.
and move things around and format.
Okay.
Like, once the format was there that I was absolutely happy with, I had something that I could print out on paper now
Right.
and bring to me to the studio.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he could see exactly what was going on. Sometimes I could put the chord changes right above the exact letter of the word, it just helped.
Sure.
I think it saved me a lot of money.
I'm sure it did. So you're writing, again, it's kind of the phrase, and then you work on that. And then do you have the song like mostly written in with lyrically before you pick up the guitar and try to put chords to it? Or
I might have the first set of lyrics, and usually by the first set of lyrics, I kind of know the direction I'm heading in.
Okay.
I don't know the entire layout of the song or what might pop up, because I just let the creative process, A lot of it comes with trying to rhyme the damn word,
Sure.
So where am I going? What am I doing? It has to make sense,
Yeah.
And all these processes come together.
Do you have any interest in, going out and gigging in bars, restaurants, anything like that?
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
There's a place close by that I was invited to, to do something, but I don't know if I'm ready yet.
Okay.
That all comes with repetition. Most of the time you see me reading my words is because there's so many words,
Yeah.
I don't have the music written down. It's all in my head.
Sure. Yeah.
So the words help give the music the placement and vice versa.
Yep.
So all I need are my words.
Yep.
And I'm pretty much good to go.
Nice.
But there's also been so many, it's kind of like, okay, how'd that go?
Well, yeah, I get it. 52 songs, I get it.
How did that go? Oh, yeah, okay. Now I got it now. So in order for me to do a show, I would definitely have to have, your set list.
Right. Yep.
And the repetition of doing that set list.
Sure.
Every day,
Yep.
maybe 2-3 times a day, over and over and over.
Yeah, it
until
takes
you
some-
beat in your head. And then I won't need
Right.
the words anymore.
Right.
But I
Yep.
just didn't stress my brain out with trying to memorize all these words. I figured it was going to take too many brain cells.
Sure.
Because there's not many in there to begin with. So. I kind of burned them up.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. So I know before we hit record on this, you were telling me that you haven't really been very computer savvy and stuff. Do you have any kind of social media where people can find you or find your music?
I'm on Facebook, and signing up to the Bandcamp, and especially DistroKid
Yep.
has given me all kind of platforms to try to find my way through. I'm working through it all. If there's anybody out there that can give me a hand, I think me and Dave would actually appreciate somebody who knows what the hell they're doing to try to get this thing rolling. We ain't doing this podcast for nothing.
That's right. So you're going to do 2 songs for us today. What songs do you have lined up?
One is called Call It Home, and it's the story of a fella trying to convince his girl that it's time to get the hell out of this town and follow their dream to go find the house that she always wanted, and they can make a home. So that's pretty straightforward. That's what that song's about. And the other one is a new one, actually. And you know what? It's so new, I can't even remember what the hell I'm calling it. See, this is the stuff that happens, I'm going to sing it for you, and it's going to be good. But you know what? I can't remember the title of the damn song.
That's all right. We'll edit it in later. Well, that's cool. So, I guess one other question I have for you before we get to the performance. I mean, obviously these songs have just been recorded and not really, there's only been the 2 that are released yet, so I haven't really heard them. What does the subject matter? Just kind of, is it autobiographical? Is it kind of pulled from experiences that you've had, or is it just anything that kind of comes to mind?
Listen, I'm a weirdo. You never know where it's coming from or what it's gonna do or where it's gonna send me.
Okay. Yep.
Some of it's funny, some of it's strange, It's all over the map. It really is. You'll hear.
A little bit of everything.
Some songs are kind of really serious, and they say some nice things or whatever. And other songs are just kind of like out there grabbing for any unique thing to like introduce to the song and make it special.
Okay.
And the song that I was talking about was called Rainbow, by the way. How do you forget Rainbow?
Rainbow, okay.
Like a rainbow or something
There
like
you
that.
go.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks for being on the show, Stephen. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Yeah,
It's
man.
been a lot of fun.
Good, I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right, cool.
This one is called Call It Home. I stand before you as a man, and I can almost understand the way you feel about our plan to leave. You know the future is sometimes hard to see. Trust me when I say to you, I'm not scared, I'm not confused, that tomorrow will be where we wanna be, with a big old tree in a house of your dreams. Let's pack it up, let's roll, let's head down this bumpy road, and we'll keep right on rolling till we find a place we call home. There's nothing left to keep us here, and everyone has disappeared. I think it's time that we chase down our dream. So let's not waste another day to see something new and something old. A big old house, but not too bold. I just don't wanna climb a set of stairs. Oh, and we'll find a place where old age doesn't care. Let's pack it up, let's roll, let's head down this bumpy road, and we'll keep right on rolling till we find a place we call home. Maybe some kids, maybe a dog, and I'll make a bench from a Barclays log, the sweet home sign that we hang on the door, a wrap-around porch and rugs on the floor, a fireplace made of stone. We'll light it up when we get cold, and we'll buy
Nice job.
Thank you. This one's called Like a Rainbow. Well, I don't like living by the clock. I'm always pressed for time. It never seems to stop. You have to savor the moments whenever they appear. The smallest things are precious. It's like the smell in the air. It's like eating the peach or a mango. It tastes so damn sweet. It's like a rainbow. It's like the sun in the rain. It's like the sun in the rain. It's like the sun in the rain. Floating in the ocean, the sand between my toes. It's raining on my sunshine. That's just the way it goes. Sometimes I feel so tired on a cloudy day, and then I get inspired. I let it take me away. It's like eating a peach or a mango. It tastes so damn sweet. It's like a rainbow. It's like the sun in the rain. It's like the sun in the rain. It's like the sun in the rain. You know the sun makes you grow, just like everything else. And I'm so glad that I'm here. The rain can wash away your boredom if you open your mouth and let it drip from your ears. It's like eating a peach or a mango. It tastes so damn sweet. It's like a rainbow. It's like the sun in the rain. It's like the sun in the rain.